I'm sure you guys already know that COD isn't what it used to be, and it sucks to see that the studios making these games were the same studios to release the Modern Warfare trilogy and the original Black Ops trilogy. And apparently the new COD is supposed to be Call of Duty World War II Vanguard or Call of Duty Vanguard, taking place during or after World War II. I'm not sure, I didn't look deep into the rumors, but if what we're hearing is true, then I don't know what to expect. It might be a game that takes place after World War II if the Germans won or something, which sounds okay I guess. But at the end of the day, what's the difference between a COD that takes place during World War II and right after World War II? Technology isn't going to advance that much, so you'll end up getting a COD similar to something we've already played. Now yeah, the campaign will be something different, but the campaign isn't the reason why most people buy COD. We buy it as a multiplayer game to play with our friends, or a PvE game if the zombies or co-op mode is nice. But if you keep copying and pasting the same game and keep downgrading it, the game is gonna suck. And COD's been doing that, but their sales on the other hand have been doing well. And this is obviously good for Activision, but it sucks for COD players because we won't be expecting any changes in their future games. They did make changes to Modern Warfare, but after playing Cold War, I don't know what to expect from their future games. Unfortunately, they're probably just gonna be making the same game again. And I know some people might be thinking, why am I being a hater or a pessimist? No, I do want them to make better games because I'd love to play them and have fun, but I learned from Black Ops 4 to not be hyped and to not be optimistic because I only got let down. Thought the game was going to be a 10 out of 10 Call of Duty, but it ended up being a 2 out of 10 for me. Now, not all games are incapable of living up to its hype, but I would rather have my expectations be exceeded than be let down. Infinite Warfare is a game that I had zero interest in and I thought would be like a 2 out of 10. But when the game came out, I didn't find it to be the worst Call of Duty of all time, but instead a Call of Duty that I just didn't like. So with COD Vanguard, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but I hope they start innovating and changing up their formula, because at this rate it seems like Activision thinks that COD is too big of a franchise to take risks. But in this video, I'm gonna be talking about some wild ideas that I have. There is a possibility that some of these concepts would be considered by Activision, but with the other ones, there's just no chance. The first one being Ape Warfare. I know it sounds goofy and unrealistic, but if a game is realistic, it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. Sometimes it can be good like in Modern Warfare, but other times it can be terrible like in Black Ops Cold War. A good game can be realistic, but at the same time, a realistic game can be bad. But for this idea, I'm thinking of a Call of Duty Planet of the Apes game. Now there might be some legal issues if it's super similar to the Apes movies, but if they're able to make a COD where you play as apes and you're fighting against either humans or another faction of apes, I feel like they can make a good game. The weapons can be some sort of futuristic weapon stolen from humans, and you can have a bunch of wild shit, like a banana launcher or Mario Kart banana peel mines. And with the maps, I feel like they can have areas where you can swing, similar to how wall running was implemented into Black Ops 3. Which means for movement, they can add swinging and instead of a slide, maybe try out a roll, where you can cover further distance. So the roll will only be used as a way to get away from danger or for the same reason you'd dolphin dive. It wouldn't be as useful as a slide, but why not try it out? And I feel like they can bring back the specialist somehow, but by making it how it was in Black Ops 3, where anyone is able to choose any specialist. You can have the orangutan have an ability to have an increased score multiplier similar to Seraph, I know it's Seraph, but similar to Seraph's combat focus cause orangutans are intelligent. And then chimps or bonobos can have some sort of kinetic armor or a berserk mode because they're the most aggressive apes. And with the other apes, you can see which ability resonates with their behaviors and attributes and make something that works. And then for streaks, you can have your regular Black Ops 2 streaks with some new ones like the gas from the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie, where your teammates can inhale the gas, making them stronger and smarter. And this is just for the multiplayer, and I haven't even gone into co-op. And for the campaigns, I'm pretty sure they can figure something out with the idea. But for the co-op mode, they can have some sort of mode where they're fighting off the last humans as they're taking over the planet. I never watched the other ape movies, but the mode can maybe be about a disease that's affecting humans worldwide, having no effects on apes and other animals. And the apes would have to kill the infected humans to ensure their safety, cause the infected humans turn violent against them. And they can make it similar to a zombies mode, but I'd say they should make it something original somehow. Maybe make it some game mode where it's just a long stealth mission. There can be different ways to complete or carry out the mission, leading to different paths and everything. And having teammates can also change the way you play the mode somehow. So for example, you might be able to do a double takedown, or a teammate can activate something in one location, allowing the other player to do something that they can't do in single player. And once you reach the end, there might be a different ending cutscene that all somehow relate to the next DLC map. So I guess this game mode is kind of like GTA Online Heists, but with a Call of Duty twist. But at the end of the day, they can do anything with the co-op mode as long as they're not milking zombies. I think it's best for them to keep zombies fresh without boring us with some sort of World at War to Black Ops 3 zombies ripoff. But for the next idea, we've got a game that takes place at the beginning of a new civilization. And what I mean by that is conflicts after World War III, after the world is all screwed up. It can even be on a different planet, similar to Earth, making the player confused. In the campaign, it might seem hard to determine the time the game takes place, because there might be some futuristic weapons and gear, with very little infrastructure in the maps. But at the end of the campaign, you might steal some intel that has footage of a nuke destroying Earth, revealing that the people living on the new planet are all descendants of humans that arrived through some huge emergency space shuttle. Or they could be the sperm that NASA sent to space that eventually formed some other creature. Or if the game takes place on Earth, they might reveal it in a different approach. Guns are found in different areas and places of the world, and where they were found also determines when the gun was made or used. Like you might be able to find weapons buried underground, by the ocean after D-Day, below fossils, etc. And there can be a combination of weapons, like an MP40 by the shores south of the United Kingdom or north of France. You can also maybe find a scar in an underground bunker with some sort of opening, and the futuristic guns can be found in some other way. And the characters or humans you play as probably evolved either backwards into Neanderthals or forward because of the different environmental conditions, and this makes them superhuman, giving them different abilities. And with this, they might choose to have specialists, a twist on field upgrades, or something else. And then for the co-op mode, you can maybe have something similar to the Ape Warfare co-op mode or something else. But they should eventually have a zombies mode, so if they do have a zombies mode for this game, then it can maybe be a continuation of the Cold War zombie story. But make it similar to Black Ops 3 when it comes to the game mode itself. Black Ops 3 Zombies in my opinion is the closest zombies mode to perfection, and everything that came out after it was just lost potential, I'd say. Now this next idea is kind of similar to the previous one, and it's sort of similar to X-Men Days of Future Past. And you're trying to stop the events of World War III from happening. At some point in the campaign, they can fight a war during the ancient Rome era when trying to figure out time travel. Or maybe they can start at ancient Rome and keep fast forwarding time up until World War III. And until they get to World War III, you might be able to fight during the War of 1812, World War I, and other conflicts that weren't previously covered by Call of Duty. And in the multiplayer, the maps can take place during any time of history. They even had a Roman map in Black Ops 3 with the Raid remake Empire, so I don't see why they can't have this as an option. And of all the COD concepts from this video, I think Zombies fits this one the most when it comes to the gameplay because you can have weapons from any point in time. You might be able to craft explosive spears by bringing a spear during the Roman era into the future and add an explosive to the tip. Or maybe you can have a futuristic weapon like some laser gun replacing the death machine. The things that they can add are limitless, and I think this COD is somewhat possible, but I highly doubt that they take the risk. But for the last idea, I've got Call of Duty Cyberpunk. It's something different and something COD never tried before, and I think out of all my outlandish ideas from this video, this is the most realistic one Activision would be okay with. With Cyberpunk 2077 being a flop on consoles, they can get some new fans that were looking for a fun FPS Cyberpunk game. And obviously not all Cyberpunk 2077 fans will be interested in a COD Cyberpunk game, but there may be some. So for this game, I think they can basically make Black Ops 3 on steroids. I think in Cyberpunk you have something similar to Iron Spider Claws, so they can have something like that as one of the new specialists. And then for a new kill streak, they can make a jetpack that allows you to hover in the air, and with this jetpack you can shoot enemies sort of like a Dragonfire. And with the co-op mode, they can maybe make a co-op survival mode from MW2 or MW3, cause I know a bunch of people actually enjoyed playing those modes. So if they add a Cyberpunk twist to it, I feel like many people would return to the mode as long as they keep adding new maps consistently. And they need to make sure to not make it anything like Modern Warfare 2019's co-op mode, cause that mode was just boring. But of all the ideas from this video, I think this is one that Activision might actually plan on making because of the hype that was surrounding Cyberpunk 2077. I personally never played any games of the genre, but if COD is able to make one, then I would definitely check it out. But those are some of the ideas that I have, but I just want them to make something that we haven't already seen before. It can be something goofy or even something edgy. I just don't want to keep seeing the same game being released over and over again, unless they take their time to master the game and make it enjoyable, instead of burning the fans out. But they're probably not going to stop and make any changes because their sales say otherwise, so I don't know what to expect. I will play the beta, and if I like the game during its beta, I will probably get it, but if not, then I probably won't. Because I actually enjoyed Modern Warfare during the beta and after it released, but I didn't like Cold War during the beta nor when it released. I really wish they can make something else, but I doubt that that's gonna happen. But That's it for this video. If you like this video and if you think these ideas for a new COD game sounds cool, then make sure to share and like the video. And also, put some other ideas down in the comment section below, or maybe add on to the ones I suggested, cause I want to read what you guys think. But if you want to see more videos, then make sure to subscribe. Later.